I would say that if there's like a board game that was James Altucher, it would be a conversation starter. It would be like throwing a bomb in the middle of the table and let's see what happens. Like to me, that's like as I've watched you work, a lot of the way you approach things to me remind me a lot of my brother. Sort of, he can out debate me on either side of any issue, and I never, I'm sure that I really know where he stands. First of all, but like you seem to like. It seems to me like you like the social experiment of some of these ideas more than you're tied to the idea.
That could be true. Like, first off, one person did accuse me of writing just for the sake of being controversial, which I think is the worst kind of writing possible. Like, I would never do that. I live in New York City. I saw the problems that are now pretty clear. Like, 8,000 restaurants or so are out of business now in New York City. When I wrote the article, it was probably around 3,000 restaurants. I mean, I can go on and on. The data has gotten significantly worse. So I did my research. I didn't write about London is dead forever. I didn't write about LA is dead forever. I wrote about my city that I love. If you just write to be controversial, you're going to run out of material pretty quickly, and no one's going to trust your opinion. So there's no purpose of writing just to get likes or a dopamine hit or whatever. You have to write about things you care about. That said, you have to write about things you care about, and you have to say something new and unique. You have to trigger, in order for people to read your article, you have to trigger cognitive dissonance. So if I say nobody should ever buy a home forever, no one should ever buy a home, that triggers huge cognitive dissonance because buying a home is usually the largest financial decision one might make in their lives, at least up until the moment they buy a home. Or don't go to college. That also triggers huge cognitive dissonance because many of us, including me, have spent 4 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars getting an education. And if someone just says, hey, you shouldn't, that was dumb, you shouldn't have done that, that's going to trigger cognitive dissonance. So the first reaction is to be defensive and to argue and maybe to be angry. Like, is this person questioning my life choices? I can't be wrong. And so you have to be able to say something new about a topic that is important, big enough to trigger cognitive dissonance. That's why it's important to be able to write about it. Why do you have to say something new? If I write what everybody else writes, what was the point of me writing? Like, there has to be a reason why I'm writing. Even in my New York City is Dead article, I brought up points that nobody else had ever brought up, which is why part of the reason it went viral, because I had something new in it. It triggered a lot of cognitive dissonance. Also very important, I told a story. I didn't just say, here's some facts about New York City. I interwove my love affair with New York in the article, which makes it emotionally intense and relatable. So that's the third component of a viral article. And, those are the important ones. But again, you have to be able to also address all the objections. So I can't write about New York City is dead without addressing the 1970s, without addressing 2001, without addressing 2008, because these are all times that people thought New York City was dead. And I had to be able to prove with facts that this time things are different. And, and I had to have those facts. So not only did I have to have facts, but I had to be able to answer all the objections. I had to steel man my argument, which means I had to argue the opposite side even better than I was arguing my own side.